Initially, the Athletics had taken the lead in the series 3-1, but the Giants battled back, winning Game 5 in the bottom of the 10th inning as Fred Merkle hit a sacrifice fly to score Larry Doyle. The 1911 World Series proved to be one of the most evenly matched in history, with each of the first 5 games being decided by 2 runs or less. 2 of those games went into extra innings. And so, with a resurgent Giants team threatening to tie up the series, and thus to bring the series back to New York, Connie Mack was taking no chances. He sent to the mound the pitcher he trusts the most in big game situations, the pitcher he called Money. And that was Charles Albert Chief Bender. And Bender responded. Through 9 innings, Bender gave up only 4 hits and 2 walks. While the Giants had scored 2 runs, neither of them were earned. Meanwhile, the A's exploded for 13 runs, 7 of them in the 7th inning alone. When the dust had settled, the A's left no doubt who the 1911 World Champions were, and half of the Athletics' victories in that series were won by Chief Bender. Welcome to Philadelphia Baseball History. Don't forget to check out our merchandise. T-shirts, phone cases, masks, notebooks, mugs, and much more. Just go to tpublic.com and look for Philadelphia Baseball History. Charles Albert Bender was born on the White Earth Indian Reservation in Minnesota. A member of the Ojibwa Nation, Bender was given the Ojibwa nickname Mandawasin, meaning little spirit animal. His father, Albert Bliss Bender, was a German-American homesteader who settled in Minnesota with his wife, Mary Razor Bender, herself half Ojibwa. One of 13 children, Charles Albert's family had a 180-acre farm on the Indian Reservation. Bender attended the Carlisle Indian School in Pennsylvania, where he excelled in baseball. He went on to attend Dickinson College and pitched for a semi-professional team in Harrisburg. In 1902, Bender caught the eye of a scout for the Philadelphia Athletics. He signed a contract with Connie Mack and began pitching for the Athletics in 1903. In his first season in Philadelphia, Bender went 17-14 and posted an ERA of 3.07. But the 19-year-old lacked control, and he led the majors in hit batsmen with 25. With the A's, he pitched along such all-time greats as Eddie Plank and Rube Waddell. Still, the A's finished second in 1903, a disappointing letdown from the 1902 pennant-winning season. Bender watched from the sidelines with the rest of his A's team as Cy Young and the Boston Americans defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates in the first-ever World Series between the winners of the American and National League pennants. The A's struggled offensively in 1904. This is shown by the fact that Bender had a losing record of 10-11, but his ERA was an impressive 2.87. Not a single Athletics hitter had finished the season above 300, and the team finished in 5th place. Bender continued to pitch well, posting winning percentages above 600 in 1905 through 1907. In each of these years, his ERA was below 3. But Chief Bender was just getting started. In 1908, he began a period of 3 straight seasons where his ERA was below 2. In 1909, Bender's winning percentage was just under 700. And in 1910 and 1911, the first 2 A's World Championship seasons, Bender's winning percentages were .821 and .773 respectively. Both years, he was tops in the American League. Despite a 1-1 record in the 1910 World Series, his ERA was under 2. And in 1911, with a 2-1 record, his ERA was an amazing 1.04. His performance in the 1911 World Series earned Bender a role in a silent picture entitled The Baseball Bug, along with Jack Coombs, Cy Morgan, and Rube Oldrink. The plot of the film centered around a store clerk who fancied himself so good at baseball that he neglected his work. The clerk's wife, a distant cousin of Bender, called upon her cousin to help her out. Bender gathered his athletic teammates to give the clerk his chance to show them how well he could play. The movie ended with the clerk burning his glove and uniform, swearing off playing baseball. Presumably, this is because he learned that his talent, in reality, could not compare with that of the world champions. Sadly, the film has been lost to history, as no known copies of it exist today. On the field, Bender wasn't done yet. Bender won 21 games in 1913. In the World Series, his record against the Giants was 2-0. In 1914, Chief Bender led the majors with an .850 winning percentage during the regular season. His ERA was a healthy 2.26. In the 1914 World Series, however, Bender gave up 6 earned runs in 5 1/3 innings for an ERA of 10.13. The Boston Braves proved too much for the Athletics that season as they swept the A's in 4 games. All total, in 12 seasons with the Athletics, Bender had a wins above replacements of 42.0. He had won 193 games to 102 losses and posted an ERA of 2.32. But in 1915, the promise of a higher salary led Bender to jump to the upstart Federal League, where he played for the Baltimore Terrapins. That season, his ERA ballooned to 3.99. Due to the tremendous financial pressure from the American and National Leagues, the Federal League folded after the 1915 season. Bender returned to Philadelphia, but this time he played a few blocks away in the Baker Bowl for the Philadelphia Phillies of the National League. With the Phillies, his record was 15-9, and his ERA was once again below 3 at 2.75. After the 1917 season, Bender left baseball to work in the shipyards in order to help with America's war effort in the First World War. After that, he spent several years as a player-manager in the minor leagues. In 1925, Bender joined the White Sox as a coach and made an appearance as a pitcher for a single inning that year. He continued coaching until his death in 1954. Bender also owned his own sporting goods store, as well as a store dealing in jewelry and precious stones. As a Native American, Bender endured much bigotry and harassment during his career. Off the field, newspaper cartoonists often portrayed Bender wielding a tomahawk or wearing a feathered headdress. On the field, opposing fans and players would yell insults such as "go back to the reservation" or other racial epithets at him. For the most part, Bender would remain quiet when faced with the verbal abuse, or simply smile in return. Bender was eventually recognized for his incredible career, voted into the Hall of Fame in 1953 by the Veterans Committee. Bender was inducted in July of 1953 and then passed away from prostate cancer 10 months later. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to see the story of Chief Bender's teammate, Frank Home Run Baker, click here. If you would like to see the story of the rise and fall of the Athletics, click here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and to tell your friends about us. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our future publications. There'll be a link in the description box to our merch store. Thank you so much for tuning in.